that was like a loud one. Greetings, campers. I think I'll shut that back window for you. So I put the thing on, I set it for advance, and I press the button. And what does it do? It says going live, and it gives you the exact time. So there is no advance notice. So you are hearing this before the live people, because this is the recording. It's a time warp. All right, so I got a strike on the other channel last night, which was weird because I was going to do a second video last night, and somewhere, I don't know, 9:30 or 11:30, I got an email from YouTube telling me that they took the video down. So it said that I violated the terms of service because I contradicted the consensus of the official medical consensus and the WHO. So I'm going to have to see if I can watch that video in the YouTube studio and see where I did that. I wouldn't do that. I think I was presenting other people's opinions as to that issue, not mine, because political discourse was the purpose of the First Amendment. Anyway, this video, the last one here, was on the 28th. I had said I was going to do the double blast play from, what is that thing? StreamYard. I didn't do that yet. I had discussed that. Some good news, campers. Good news. And that is, I had opened both a Brighteon channel and I had opened a BitChute channel. I just didn't upload anything. So this morning I decided, because BitChute annoys the crap out of me because it never plays. So what I did is I checked Brighteon and I was trying to upload. So I recorded a quick video saying, "Hi there, welcome to the channel. This is it, please subscribe." It was like a minute long. Then I was trying to upload it and it was taking forever. You can't move the page until it's done. So I killed that, tried it again, killed that, tried it again. Then there's another feature there. It says record the video. So let's upload, record video. So I did that, and that uploads right quick. So that's about as quick as live stream as I can get. So that was very cool. Except, being that I held the camera this way, I got a big red dot. I'm not allowed to do that. I guess it's telling me, take your Dramamine. But the long and short is, it's hilarious. I got the link to the channel on the first link and the welcome video now. So I go back 5 minutes ago and I look at the welcome video and this stupid thing is completely upside down. So you're going to look at FJ talking, what's that, dancing on the ceiling. There you go. It's ridiculous. So I did a second video with the vertical phone, also about 30 seconds, and we'll see. It said it's processing. But definitely check Brighteon, subscribe there. They allow me 50 videos, I think, until we get X number of views. So obviously I will delete the first one because literally it's upside down. I'm like, how the hell did that happen? I guess they want me to turn the camera this way. I don't know. I'm so confused. I had my hat on, so my hat stayed on upside down. Now that's a trick, right? Only through the magic of television. All right, now let's hit a couple of quick things. Anyway, I did have some great links in the one they took down. So I'm not putting them in here. We're going to be, what should we call that? Not passive. There's a word, I'll think of it. So I think I'll have to slap them into the Patreon account. All right, so several days ago, I don't remember if I said it here on this channel or on the other, but we're going to do some yap here because we need more yap here. So by the way, I did see the comments on this channel. Good stuff. I didn't go through them all. Minimal views, like 1,600 views. I don't know what the hell that's about, but crazy. So like, share, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and what? Subscribe. All right, let's get down to work. I'll put those links in the Patreon, and I don't think we can't put a video in there because they pulled the video down. Anyway, here, the last link Let's start from the bottom, just to keep you, since we're upside down. We're living in an upside down world. Oh my God. Reiner Fuelmick, jawohl. This is great, and I gotta say thank you to Amy P. Amy P has been on a very interesting track, finding great stuff, and I saw Amy here. Hi there. Reiner doing a discussion with a couple of guys, and my problem is I never know when this is, but this is real recent. But he's talking about the updates on the various cases that are going. And that's another video that I had linked in the other, but it's different. And I know, and you know, that we spoke with Mary Holland, who is general counsel for Kennedy's Children's Health Defense, and they were litigating in federal court. And in fact, Mary had just finished that argument the day before our last interview, which is on this channel. So you can scroll back and you'll see it. But there evidently, and now this is where I'm unclear, because what they were litigating was the right or the improperness of, right, there's a new legal word, the impropriety or the illegality or the unconstitutionality of administering PCR tests to children in school in order to allow them to be in school. Now, when you listen to Reiner's thing, he's all about the PCR test, okay? Very important. That's a good one. And that's all right in the first 5 to 10 minutes. It's excellent. And he's excellent. And in case you haven't listened, you should. He's outstanding. But so evidently, according to Reiner in this video, there was an agreement that said the school wouldn't require it, or the state or the city wouldn't require it. But he's saying that the CHD, Children's Health Defense, still wants a decision from the judge. And the reasoning is simple. They could stop doing it now, and then they dismiss or discontinue the case, and then what happens is, a month later or whenever, they say, okay, well, we need those PCR tests, and they do it again, and you never have resolution as to the constitutionality, legality, or propriety of doing those kind of intrusive, questionable tests, right? Right. So, close the deal. We want a decision. All right. So that's what I find of interest, and we need to speak probably again with Mary and find out where we're at with that. Moving up the list, and I didn't number them, apologies, but I'll let you wrestle with it because it's fun. All right, the Texas governor, what's his name, Abbott, speaks out about border security. Now this is interesting because a few days ago, and I don't remember again, was it this channel or the other, and it's tough to keep track of what the hell that is. There was an article in the Epoch Times saying that the acting Secretary of State for the Biden administration said that the border will not be open to irregular migration. That was his word, irregular. Now, that sounded promising, yet what seems to be happening is a pretty increased level of irregular migration. Not cool. And the biggest problem and the inconsistency with the administration is their lack of testing of these migrants, the notion that they're taking them, putting them on buses and shipping them into the country. But again, notice how they're sticking to this COVID narrative, right? That's the number one issue everywhere. So everybody needs to not only drink the Kool-Aid, but they need to inject it. So keep that story going and keep those federal dollars flowing into the state of emergency and the hospitals and doctors, in case anybody has been paying attention. So the bottom line is, Abbott is saying, look, Biden is not testing these people. They should be mandatorily tested, right? They should also be vaccinated, don't you think? But they're going to mandate that people to work have to get vaccinated in the U.S., and there's an interesting article above this, which you're going to love. Somebody's suing on that. Cool, but wait a minute, let me finish here. So these guys come into the country, they get shipped and dispersed through midland America, and what happens? That's it. They just poof in the wind. But they may be positive, they may be negative. How come they're not all being tested? Right? But yet they want all the Americans to be tested and traced and contact tracing and tracking and all of this shit. But these guys, so that means Americans have become second-class citizens, and illegal migrants who come in and don't pay taxes, et cetera, they get rights to travel freely. I don't know. Do they have to wear masks? Uh-huh. Something wrong with that picture? You decide. All right? Leave a comment on that, campers. Woodstock on Canada. There you go. That's where they wear the masks and they get all those tests for the migrants coming in Mexico. I knew it. I knew it was a secret place. Wow. Woodstock. Close to Jimmy Plays Berkeley. Woodstock. All right, let me continue. So it's an interesting thought. And then yesterday, of course, Biden was on a press conference or a communication, and he says, well, I'd love to take questions. And his handlers, his jailers, shut off the camera. And that's it. So he's not allowed to answer questions. I'm starting to get seriously concerned about this. He is the guy with the launch codes. He seems to be more feeble by the moment. Can't really compile a full thought without stuttering, stammering, and getting confused. So at what point is he not qualified for the office, right? What we talked about yesterday, and what I wanted to say is this. Newt Gingrich pointed out the other night on Fox, I don't remember which show, whatever, but he said, Hannity probably. He said that what's going on is that there is so much stuff being churned out by Biden in his little secured perimeter, guarded by the military, and restricted access White House, looking just like a junta and a military coup, doesn't it? I pointed that out to somebody today. I said, you never thought of that? No, I didn't. Fat, dumb, and happy. Nobody's seeing any of this shit. So, you got that, and he's pumping out, 47 executive orders. He's 42 days into his first term, and still has not done a press conference, hasn't done a State of the Union, and doesn't answer questions. Interesting. A puppet, an empty suit. Who's feeding him the info? Other than his Cedric guy up there who says, we're going to do reparations. What are they going to do, an executive order? Slave reparations, because Cedric was a slave, and all those slave owners and shipping companies owned by the British East India Company, or was it the Dutch East India Company? All those people should have to pay those reparations, don't you think? But they're not named. And who owned those ships? You decide. Let's go ask Adam Green about that. Maybe he knows. I don't know. How about Brendan? I still I'd love to talk to Brendan on the channel. We could do that on another channel, I think. At Harry Baby. Oh, good. All right. So let's see. Texas governor, Pfizer. This is out of order, but all right. I'll keep this in order since we're in upside down land. So Pfizer wants government assets to protect against legal fees. This is interesting. This is in Central America. They want governments to post like bond or central treasury notes to them to secure the vaccine deal. I mean, what the hell? Take a look at this. Now, I thought they were given immunity, right? Now, if they weren't given immunity, well, who got immunity? Who's done immunity? I mean, Gates said this all over the world. They needed immunity. So they didn't get immunity in these countries, or what's going on? But notice they still stick to the net. We need the vaccine. I thought that was an odd bit of info. Take a look, see what you think. And now we're talking about the militia group, but there was something else that I was talking about. With Newt, that's right. So Newt is saying that what's happening is Biden's pumping out all this info. The Democrats are running these ridiculously radical changes, and they're really pro-Democrat manipulations to make it look like it's something good, and all it's doing is undermining the system to benefit themselves, and a lot of inside baseball and spending a lot of money. But his point was that they're putting out so much stuff that they're flooding the system, okay? But they're doing it as they suggested they wanted to do with the mail-in voting, to break the system. You overload it. So they're doing it here. And what Newt said is the media can't follow the amount of material coming out. They can't follow it. It's too much. Think tanks can't follow it and analyze it. And even the politicians can't follow it and analyze it because there's so much. So that's part of their strategy, isn't it? All while they're securely behind the fences, checkpoints protected by armed military that they're calling National Guard. Interesting. Now let me segue that into the militia coup possibility, plotting to breach the Capitol on March 4th. Now you remember I talked about this and said, all right, so keep an eye out. Well, I haven't heard any chatter about it. However, it seems to have made it to the Capitol Police right on beat. They announced yesterday, and I've got two links. One is from Zero Hedge, and the other one is from Epoch Times. So moving up the list backwards, we got Epoch first, and their app. And again, I encourage you to download their app if you're on mobile. I don't know, can you download the app on the computer? I have no idea. However, once again, if something happens, will that be a false flag? I don't think anything is going to happen, but if it is, you really have to wonder who's doing it, right? And for what purpose? Who benefits? Well, the people behind the sealed off, protected area, protected by the military, could create this and thus strengthen their need to call anybody objecting to their takeover as domestic terrorists. Right? Right. So if there is an incident, and we'll see, I don't think so, on Capitol Hill today on the 4th, then they will declare it as domestic terrorists, and they'll have to put their left-wing spin and call that white supremacists and racists and whatever, and create and support their domestic terrorist legislation. That will mean people can get locked up because that's what they do in communist environments, right? And people don't want to see this. They don't understand this. They're like, they in disbelief, or they fat, dumb, and happy with their faces in their iPhones. Let's make a face. The happy idiot, right? Kathy B. in Sarasota. All right. Hang on. So, I said that a month ago. I said that with George on his Biden, what the hell is that, Biden Belt Road show? I said, this looks like a military coup. He agreed. All right. Next, moving up the line is, this is the interesting one. This is in New Mexico, and it's from MSN. And I think Karen sent me this. Karen with an I. Excellent stuff. This is the suit in New Mexico by a government employee. Evidently, he's a detention officer. And they went to fire him because he refused to take the vaccine. They said, no, all these guys have to take the vaccine. It's mandated for job. And he said, no. He said, this isn't formally approved. It's not licensed. It is an emergency use authorization. It's experimental. So they said, all right, you're fired. So he sues. But what's interesting here, this is the news article, is they're suing for what? The Cosmetic Health Act or something like this. I forgot what the hell it was. It was like, okay, I wonder what that says. Wow. But let's see how that plays. But it's about time somebody's challenging it, right? All right, moving up the list. Here's a good one. This is all good stuff. But Buttar and Ike. This is a little blurb from those lunatics at Anonymous, whichever Anonymous Global, Anonymous Official, Anonymous. Yeah. This is a clip of Buttar and Ike, and it's a warning, and it's important, so you should take a look at it and maybe share it. All right? I don't love their channel, but when I'm on the FJ channel, I had subscribed to a lot more channels, so I get a totally different feed than what I get here, right? Interesting. I'd actually like to be able to figure out which ones I've subscribed to there and import that list here, my subscription list. I don't know if that's doable. I'll have to go look at YouTube and check it out. Right? Hi, Marie. Yes, you made a great statement, Marie Drysdale, talking about Florida and their love and relation and subservience to Israel, and that Rick Scott and little Mario and or Marco Rubio and even the governor here, what the hell's his name, DeSantis, seem to have an unnatural alliance with that other country, and that they're trying to bring tech stuff here, and the concern of Marie is that that would allow further influence or access to technology, etc. So that's a concern. On the other hand, does that also provide a degree of safety in Florida uh, in order to facilitate their interests? So you don't want to destroy it. There's something else massive talking about moving to Florida. The New York Stock Exchange, because I guess they don't like de Blasio and Cuomo. That would be interesting. And the personal income tax, right? Hang on a second. I don't know if it's in the cards to keep this guy lit today, huh? Yikes. Anyway, that's interesting. So a lot of stuff is moving. They're trying to bring more technology in. They've been trying to do pharmaceuticals here for a long time. You have Scripps Labs nearby. There's a lot of stuff going on. Interesting. And now with the limitation of stupidity, not the maximization of stupidity, the limitation of stupidity, it makes it a more appealing venue, doesn't it? Especially the no income tax. What's his name? David Tepper, a major investor, moved his whole operation out of New York down to Miami, I believe, last year. And he did that based on the personal income taxes, which makes sense. I mean, New York is brutal. Hang on a second. And since we're talking about New York, I want you to notice how the little flip-flop on the Cuomo scene, right? Everybody's inquiring about the negligence and potential criminal negligence or criminal violations he may have done. And Judge Janine did a wonderful job laying that out, and the pressure going on him and the cover-up, etc. And then suddenly these women come out, the Me Too people. Now, were they plants? Was that a distraction? They come in and make the allegations. He blows it off. And now what? That's all supposed to go away? So we shifted from point A to point B. B gets dismissed. And of course, A is no longer in focus. You tell me. So the big fuss was, oh, he should resign because of, what are they calling this? Sexual harassment claims. Those that lost people, parents, grandparents, families, relatives, friends who died in nursing homes as a result of getting COVID, potentially directly resulting in COVID positive patients, I think they're more interested in that rather than his antics. What do you think, campers? Wow. So they've shifted it. Let's see if they could bring this back on focus, because the AG up there wants to go address the Me Too argument. What about the criminal side of the multiple thousands of COVID deaths, right? Yeah. Hog boys barking. Today is Thursday. Wonder what he's carrying on about. Maybe it's a burglar. I don't know. Let me move along. Buttar and Ike. That was our New York stint. For Scott, NYC, where are you, man? Homicide, too. Could be negligent. Homicide. Manslaughter. Number of them. But times how many? Okay. Buttar and Ike. Catherine Austin Fitz. This is the second link, right? Yeah, well, hang on, Chris. Without getting into a dialogue with you, Let's look at New Jersey. Let's look at Pennsylvania with their importing or inserting sick people into nursing homes. And it's curious how that increases the death rate. Uh-huh. There needs to be accountability big time. All right, so we got Catherine Austin Fitz. I don't remember who sent me this. This is interesting. It's a pandemic financial disclosure. This is fascinating. This is like a checklist um, that you go through before you take the vaccine, right? Right. Amy is saying, Michigan. Oh, you guys had the same thing? You had the insertion of sick people into nursing homes up in Michigan? Yeah, the majority we heard, though, was Cuomo, and then Jersey, and then Pennsylvania, and I guess Michigan, too. So that's their little cabal. I guess they were all vying for VP at the time. I don't know. Right? But Catherine Austin Fitz has this checklist. Interesting. All right, take a quick look. And then up top is the Brighteon Channel, which I put up one video, and it twisted me upside down. So you've got, what's that, dancing from the ceiling? Lionel Richie. There you go. And the hat stays on. It's great. I put up a second one to see. That's because I turned the camera like that, and it said, that's the way it went up, upside down. So I guess I have to turn the camera like that, and then it'll be right side up. I'll have to try. Fun with technology. But we have a lot to do. So let's talk about the media. The censorship and the removal of anything that is discourse and scientific information contradicting the official position of the WHO and the consensus is not allowed. And it's not allowed on YouTube, and I don't know how much Google's censoring it, but Facebook is. And we know that the newspapers are promoting all of this stuff the same way. They're not censoring, but they put out their own crap. You can't post stuff there. You can write letters to the editor, but which ones do they pick? So the question is the media complicit? And are they criminally negligent for not exposing an alternative view that could save people's lives? Just a thought. Or does it step up to a conspiracy to prevent that? Take a listen to Reiner Fuel Mix discussion here. It's the last link before the PayPal link and before the Patreon link. I need to put these posts in the Patreon link. I got to do that because they were great, and I'll figure out how I'm going to get them in here. Maybe we'll do that on a later video today or tomorrow. So, I thank you for your time. I hope you enjoy these links. I hope we have given you some food for thought. If you like the thinking, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment and subscribe. And, of course, you can help support the channel. And you can join PayPal. I'm sorry. I'm going to get brain dead over here. Patreon or PayPal for direct contributions. And if you send something in, and it all matters, 10, 15, 25, 25, 50, it's all great. It adds up. Before you know it, you've got a couple of bucks and you can pay bills. Oh, good. But leave a comment, because I love the comments and I respond to them. Good stuff. All right, campers. Nice to see you again. And, this living in two channels is very weird. I have a complete different, like a suggestion and subscription feed in this channel and the other one. It could make it crazy. And it's not like you just flip back and forth. You've got to go and log in. And if you're doing it on the app, it's bizarre. All right, guys, that's what I've got. Have your machine call my machine. And loved your last movie. We'll see you soon. Tell a friend. Again, like, share, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. Take a look at these videos. Good stuff. And please check the Brighteon channel. I don't know if the second video is upside down, but I guess you need to subscribe there. It's like a minute long saying, welcome. So let's see if we have what are we calling this? A terrorist attack in Washington today, because this is the day the inaugurations said in the Constitution. And our man Fused Gamer from the UK mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, so I shared it with the campers. And sure enough, it popped up the day before, the Capitol Police. Gee, I wonder where they got that info. There's a lot of other interesting stuff I've got for you, and we'll have to bring it on home. Oh, my God, is he playing that guitar yet? Not yet. All right, we'll see you. Thanks. Bye for now. And we'll say it in feeling. FJ out. Ciao.